Music HQ. I said HQ.
Hey,
yeah, I think that's new. That's new. I almost didn't make it to the drop today, man. Oh my goodness. Let me adjust this. All right. Fast. So you know the drill. We're talking music. Quinn's got the list. We're gonna jump in.
All right. Let's talk. You know what? Let's kick it off with this.
Do it.
So, this guy made a bunch of headlines recently because he played the most watched moment at the Super Bowl ever, halftime show, and I think I would have to check my sources, but I believe he is the first guy to release an album in conjunction with the week of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he announced the tour too.
Yeah, so big. Of course, he's coming off a Las Vegas residency, which probably made it easy for them to just transpose everything he was doing over there to the stage, and I thought it was a big success.
Kudos to his marketing team.
Yeah, no doubt.
Pretty smart. Smart.
Chart superstar, actor, author, philanthropist.
Everything.
He does everything.
People loved that halftime show.
They really did.
They really, really loved that halftime show.
I mean, I thought it
started slow, but by the time Ludacris came out and they did all that other stuff, I'm like, okay, now I'm in. That kind of thing. But
and people kind of, I feel like music of that era is now has that classic element time wise where people are really
kind of
anticipating.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic for a lot of folks. They're like, man, that was my jam in high school or whatever.
I mean, he sold 80 million records. That's an insane.
Yeah, I'll take a little cut of that. I will tell you, there's no Houston tour stop.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah, there is no.
That
Houston,
is surprising.
There is no Houston tour stop. But anyway, Usher, get it. New album, people.
All right, and now we have the new one from this is Earl Sweatshirt, and he's working with the Alchemist on this, and this kind of almost a surprise release the way they dropped it. Vor Dyer, and a lot of guests on there. A lot of guests.
Shocking.
I know. I can't believe hip hop record.
Shocking. We've got Vince Staples, we've got Mike, all caps.
Okay.
And in the background, you can hear our producer chiming in as well. But she likes to make sure we can hear her at all.
Yeah, no, we're fine.
Oh yeah, no.
We're doing it today. We're not
anyway,
doing
what do you think?
And this is the indie store.
And I've got the packaging, and I've got the fonts in. The only thing I haven't done is the video and the B-block.
Silver vinyl.
So we're in pretty good shape. And I'll transfer it over to the Hip-Hop Rundown. I'll put it at the bottom of the
He's one
rundown
of the best-selling
in just a minute.
hip hop artists to emerge in the last few years, and people really identify with this.
I like that it's like super just black and white DIY kind of,
it looks cool. It looks like a
punk rock. Yeah, it looks like a punk rock flyer.
I like it.
I love it.
So I haven't spent much time with it. I'm looking forward to hearing that record. And next up, there's a new Nas record. This is part of his Magic series. This is Magic 3. And man, he's just been on a roll. This is his 17th record, and he's just one of the best. I mean, known for his very lyrical rapping.
Quality of his music wise, this is probably one of the most consistent guys in the genre.
Yeah, and that's why they release a lot of instrumental.
There's no
clunker of his record.
Because I was just looking through the discography, and I'm like, yeah. There wasn't one like, I didn't like that one. I mean,
right.
It's solid.
And it's let me just say about all these guys that are putting out records.
I love the artwork.
You are smart to put out a record end of January, February.
Why's that?
Because the landscape is thin, and you get more. You're more likely to get goodwill press.
You're not trying to stand out in a crowd,
right? And you get space on the top shelf at the record store. Retailers that need to have new releases up front are more likely to sell price.
Love it.
Your records, it all adds up to a good idea. Knowledge. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it is. It's the inside from Cactus.
Mm-hmm.
Look how good this is framed up in the middle everything, man. It looks like we're professional.
Who'd have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? So now for something very different, the Dead South that have been making records for a while here.
I did not get to this. Tell me about it.
So it is country, bluegrass. It's like, I mean, it's very of the time, alternative, Americana type stuff. Here, you ready for this description?
Ready. Yeah,
from their press kit? I like this. 13 songs full of plot twists, family trees, grudges, insurance scams, bacon, burials, banjo riffs, and more.
You had me at bacon. I'm all in. Pressed on black cream Corona Haze vinyl.
Yeah, again, kind of a black and white motif. We're leading off.
Online heavy metal source Loudwire says just because it's bluegrass doesn't mean it's any less chaotic. Well, there you go. That's
right, man. Yeah, it's
praise
heavy.
from Loudwire.
And hopefully we get a tour day. People like them, and they're breaking out down here.
100%.
You need some bacon in your music. More bacon.
Please.
And Chelsea Wolfe has a new record out. This is She Reaches Out. Hold on, let me see if I can get this right. She reaches out, and she reaches.
Read it.
What's the title? She reaches out to. She reaches out to. She reach. I don't know. But I do know. So she was on that Sargent House label and really did well for them and built a very, very strong cult following. This is her debut record for Loma Vista, which is a Universal label, which tells you that things are ready to click for her. You know, goth, doom, folk, metal. I mean, I don't.
Yep.
All those, right?
Yep. And I love her guitar playing. I love her voice. You know, it's gloomy, but in a good way.
Yeah, she's cool. Yeah. I mean, she really connects with fans. And so here's the big thing, though. You know, you sign to the biggest record company in the land. Can you connect on that level? You know, are you ready to make that big jump? We're gonna see. But I believe in her. I think. I do too. Oh, absolutely. Indie Store exclusive. This is on blue. They call the blue vinyl something special.
It is on transparent blue vinyl.
Okay.
You know, price to move too. That's a good price.
There you go. I don't think we've ever talked about this band. You follow this band, Pineapple Thief?
Nope.
This is their new album. It leads to this. They are a European. They've always been considered kind of a prog experimental group. It's a lot more mainstream for me than that. That kind of leads me to think it's something that will be kind of edgier and out there. Bruce Sword is the leader of this band. This is their 14th album, and they have a very super loyal fan base around the world. Indie Store exclusive unlimited edition green vinyl.
Cool cover.
And here's the kind of interesting thing about this guy, that Bruce Sword guy. He's one of the there's a few people that are regarded as brilliant at remixing music for 5.1 or Dolby Atmos.
And that's the dude.
He's the guy. So he does like a lot of classic records.
I've never heard anything in Atmos. Have you?
I have. I think it's probably mind blowing if you have the capacity in your home or your car to listen to it as it's meant to be heard. This goes all the way back to quad records, right? Remember quad records, quad 8 tracks.
Yeah.
The devil is in the details of the fold down. As it gets folded down for two channel stereo, you can get a lot of weird things going on. And I will tell you that some of the more basic rock stuff, like the Ramones or Black Sabbath and Atmos, to me, it leaves a footprint. It messes with the mix. Like it doesn't sound like
colors it a little bit, or there's a little bit of a taint to it.
A recording that I know so well, it kind of doesn't sound right.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
And I'll probably never have a full blown Atmos studio.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're not cheap.
They're not cheap. But the problem is a lot of the default on your DSPs and your streaming, they're defaulting to this Dolby Atmos, and it's a very different mix.
And no one has it.
And no one has it.
That's
so
weird.
they're getting ahead of their skis there, whatever you want to call it. Excited about this new Jay Mascis record, his 5th solo record, and I think this might be his most fully realized solo record. Like I love Dino Jr.
Of course,
but and the solo records I've liked all of them. This one immediately strikes me as like his best solo record. There's a little bit of pedal steel, a little bit of piano. I think maybe that's it not being one note all the way through, just him singing with acoustic guitar. But it's great. If you're a fan, check it out. And then we have the Loser.
This is the Loser edition
on
first pressing on colored vinyls,
and we don't know what color.
Sub Pop, baby. Always love to see new Sub Pop product.
Yeah.
And he's a busy guy, man. Because both with Dinosaur Jr. solo stuff, he's popped up on some collabs recently. Just an interesting guy.
And for like
never got to meet him, but I saw one of the early Houston shows. Might have been the first.
We were probably both there.
Like, hey, what's going on? Yeah.
And the thing I think with him, he's writing for a 3-piece band, and he probably writes very differently than when he's just writing to do a solo record. So I think it
that makes sense.
Music. Okay, next up, Declan McKenna. He's a UK singer-songwriter. This is his 3rd record. This is What Happened to the Beach. He's kind of big shakes over there. Still a developing guy over here. He's got heavy-duty management over here, and they're not going to let it go. They're going to try to put it over. I like the cover
to make him a thing. It's really cool.
Yeah. And so he won in 2015. He won the the Glastonbury Emerging Artist Award. Like there's competition,
Right.
like there's tons of
Yeah, yeah.
artists that compete for that, and he won it. And interesting about this record, you're seeing a lot of artists do this. All the packaging is, there's no shrink wrap. Like this is
Right. Yeah.
compostable. Even the sticker and everything is environmentally friendly.
Love it.
Which is one of the secrets of the probably not so good secrets of the music industry is, vinyl records are made of polycarbonate and not the best thing for the environment.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
recycle records where you can, right?
Yeah,
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
All right, we got one little bitty record. We got Group Love have a new single. Hello, this is for them to pull out all the stops for their new record. I Want It All. Now you
Cool
get two
band.
acoustic tracks. Yeah, cool band. I like this album cover. I mean this 7-inch cover. So I guess they didn't do a series of 7 inches of alternate versions to plug their new full length. And
Yeah, if you've never heard any, and you have because they've been in commercials and everything.
yeah, they
but
license a lot of tunes.
They license a lot, but it's
lot
good
of
stuff.
things.
It's good stuff. Super creative. I love their stuff.
Okay, and we're going to close with I think kind of a staff favorite. This Helado Negro. Phasor is the new album. He's a 4AD recording artist. I think it's like his 5th or 6th record. Very, moody, cool, chill. Like it's really difficult to describe. I would say just listen to it. He was just through Houston last Monday. Like pretty much right when the record was released.
Yeah.
And so the title is Phasor. I kind of like this. There's this new age influential pianist called Laraji, who's like a jazz pianist. And I guess that phrase Phasor, or that word Phasor, comes up in his music. So he borrowed that from Laraji. And I think knowing that kind of centers you like where his music is coming from.
Okay.
It's fairly meditative.
Did anybody here go to the show? Any of the staff make
We
it
did
to the
not.
show?
We had loose plans to go. I think Matt, some of his friends went. He's one of those guys I wouldn't be surprised if if he had a song on a commercial and everybody would be jumping.
Like, what is it?
Jumping all over.
I need it. I need it in my life.
All right, you want to talk some reissues?
Please.
We always like to talk reissues.
Yeah, we do.
This is a big one, literally, because it's heavy. It's, I think, 3 or 4 LPs.
Eminem.
LP 2, 10th anniversary edition. And as you see with a lot of the hip hop records, free form of CD or digital download, once they have to like make it fit on a record, you end up with quite a few records. Very, very well received. Return to Form, produced by Dr. Dre and Rick Ruben, reuniting with those guys.
And you know what you're going to get.
You know what you're going to get.
And it's going to be good. Yes, sir.
So pick up that Marshall Mathers record. Here's a twofer. Here's a reissue twofer. You got 2 Cowboy Bebop records. One is Cosmic music from the songs for the Cosmic Sofa and the Real Folk Blues Legends.
How did that one that came out last year do?
It did okay. It didn't do as good as the other ones. And these are interesting because these are actually mixtapes of tracks from a bunch of different stuff.
Interesting.
So it's happening more and more, but it used to be kind of rare where you'd have vinyl releases of what were digital compilations. That's what these are. But their catalog is selling really, really well. And this band, the Seatbelts, people have really discovered them, and it's mood music. It's all over the place. It's big band.
It goes to the show.
It's big band. It's jazz. It's moody, but it's all cinematic, so to speak. But
and safe to say the Netflix series was a disaster.
I apparently, and they were riding.
Oh my!
People hate that thing.
I couldn't.
People love the music.
I couldn't get. I couldn't get through the first episode. I tried.
I don't know that that's me anyway. I didn't really give it a shot.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm always curious, and I think you're probably the same way about anything in pop culture that just goes like supernova.
Yeah.
And I just, even though it's not my thing, I want to know why it is.
Oh, it's so nutty. People were coming and asking for seatbelts. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. But I knew about the Cowboy Bebop thing. I didn't make the connection that that's
right.
That that's what it was. So there you go.
Interesting.
And here's a historic release for you. I don't think this has ever been on an LP. This is Sam Cooke's SAR Record Story, 1959 to 1965. I don't think this has ever been on LP. This is his gospel label. Not only was Sam Cooke arguably the greatest singer of the 20th century, or greatest soul singer of the 20th century, or maybe just singer of the 20th century. He was a great executive record. He got records put out by people that might not have had records out. Of course, he came from the gospel community, and you get notes from Peter Goralnik on there. He's one of my favorite music writers. You get a big book. I remember when this came out this was a CD box set, and this was one of those box sets you could only buy individual 45s.
Yep.
And then they put out this box set that you could just get it all in one spot. And it really shows you how important he is, not just with secular music, but with gospel music.
This is one of those deals that guaranteed, even if you're not familiar with one song on here, buy it. It's going to be good.
It's going to be
solid.
good. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you're probably going to end up loving
absolutely.
it all. Yeah, I love that, man. In fact, I heard him do it was a gospel song the other day. It was on I can't remember what I was listening to, and I was like, it's Sam Cooke, and I had to Shazam it, and it was. And I was very excited.
Love it.
Very excited. What do we got?
Okay, we're going to close our reissues program with Mimi. You got the Mariah Carey Music Box Super Deluxe box set. It's the album that's a box and the box set that's a box.
Well, there you go.
So you got the original album, you got bonus tracks, you got remixes, and then a live show from '93.
Is this the first vinyl we've seen from Mariah?
No, all her stuff.
I think the Christmas stuff came out.
The Christmas stuff came out, and then the Universal records had been readily available.
Okay,
but
I don't remember us talking about one.
Right, only recently have the Columbia, the stuff that made her come back out. But this is the LP edition. It's available on CD too, so you can get all that extra content. And huge record for her, Daydream.
Oh yeah.
Just the whole half the thing is
all sorts of good stuff on here.
And she's another one that she's a pop culture icon.
Oh my God.
And if she wasn't before, the Christmas song just propels her
100%.
into the stratosphere. Right?
I've mentioned it before on the drop. I got to interview her, and she was lovely.
Oh, nice.
Very sweet.
She was on the Grammys too, right? That was good.
Yes.
It was
Very, very sweet gal.
Okay, we got some RSD essentials, and everybody knows this. There's records that they can't fit into the record store day or Black Friday schedule. They're going to come out anyway, and they, hey, let's get them to indie record stores and make sure they can share the love on these things. Right. There's also surprises that they like to sneak in there that are just crazy, and the first one, that's what it is. This is the Barbie film soundtrack, monstrously huge for indie record stores. There's a Ken edition of the Barbie soundtrack. Same music. It's just Ken.
That's great. That's great. I mean, and if you don't know or haven't seen the movie, man, I mean, this is a celebrity packed soundtrack. Lizzo, Dua Lipa, Nicki Minaj, and Ice Spice. She's having a moment. Shout out to Ice Spice. Haim, Sam Smith, Ryan Gosling does a track. How about that? The Kid Laroi, who we've talked about, I believe, before.
And this was timed. This perfect timing. This was scheduled before his nomination. Tame Impala.
Come on, yeah. Oh God, he was not happy that they left Margot Robbie off the list.
He handled it really well. It seems like. I mean, he continues.
He made his point. He
continues to impress. I think is. It's hard to say and do the right things in those situations. And
man, that's cool. Look at that. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, of course.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
Was it good?
I thought it was very, very well done. I thought it was great.
Then I need to see it.
I thought we'll go off camera.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
It's only a 30-minute show.
Another classic available at indie record stores as part of the RSD Essentials. This is Mozzie Star, So That Tonight I Might See. And this record, it's been unavailable for a little while. Yeah. And this is one of those albums, like the Cocteau Twins are having like a moment right now where people are rediscovering their music. Yeah. Mozzie Star hasn't been hotter. Like their records, their CDs, people are looking for them. They really are connecting. Of course, this has their monster song, Fade Into You.
Of course.
And this is is it on Purple Splatter? What do we got there?
Violet Smoke with purple and black splatter.
There you go.
You haven't had one of these before. Yeah, this is I can't remember what the song was, but I bought She Hangs Brightly, right? That was the first record. Yep. I remember I bought that one right away, and I was like, this is really cool. It sounds really different, but it's really, really cool. And I ended up naming my dog Mozzie Star.
Did you?
Yeah.
I love it.
She was a great dog. I found her on a golf course.
They find you.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Or
she did. Man, just passing of David Roebuck. I mean, God, what a, I don't think that guy ever got, unless you knew about Matthew Starr, that people, not that many people were familiar with him. I just think he was a great songwriter,
really, really, really
great
cool
guitar player, slide player, just did everything. Not going to kill anybody with like over the top technique, but I always love people that find like the right notes for the right place, and he was one of them. That's a good man. That's absolutely good price too.
Okay, so you got some record store day essentials. Let's talk. We have a few jazz records for you. We're gonna kick it off. Yusef Lateef, Eastern Sounds. This is like one of the big daddy jazz records available again on the Moville label, and it's got a lot of Middle Eastern instrumentation and sounds on it. People really. And you got Yusef Lateef, unusual instrumentalist, tenor sax, oboe, flute. But this record was like a hugely influential record. And it's one of those that's not, you don't really have to struggle with. Like, you're going to listen to it, you're going to get it. And probably he had several very, very well-known records, but this one was top of the heap. And you got 4 stars from Downbeat. And it was recorded by Rudy Van Gelder. And, of course, Kevin Gray, who's the busiest guy in jazz, did the transfer and remix this for release. So it sounds
it's going to sound good, yeah.
So from Yusef Lateef, this is one of the coolest jazz records we've ever featured on the drop. This is Miles Davis. You want to give a shot at that, pronouncing that French title?
Ascenseur pour l'échafaud.
You got it. I'm going with that. So this is a soundtrack to a French film. Miles Davis was touring in 1960. He was touring in France, and the filmmaker Louis Malle contacted him about scoring this film, and so he and his musicians. So Miles just sat in his room that night and came up with several melodic figures, and then they scored the film while watching it. Like tape rolling, watching the film, played to the film,
responding to what was on the screen.
So in the moment, and that's why this record has continually been one of Miles' most highly regarded records. In the States, so it's kind of shorter. In the States, it was issued, or across the pond, it was issued on a 10-inch record. They still called those albums back then. But in the States, it was half of his record called Jazz Track, which won for this music, won the Grammy Award in 1960.
That is crazy. And I just saw it poking out of there, but you don't see, I don't think he's ever recorded anything else for the Fontana label, right? That's out of England, right?
That is
the UK. It's out of the UK.
That is one of Polygram's thing. It's international label and also associated with a lot of film stuff. But you have to hear it just based on the circumstance in which the record was made. And it's cool. There's a lot of people that aren't even really fans of him that love this record.
So the translation of the name is Lift to the Scaffold.
Wow.
Like that. Okay. Whatever.
I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking for the Lift to the Scaffold.
This is good. This is real good.
And do you know this, that I'm in the vinyl vault this week?
Yeah, and we'll have to explain this because the vinyl, and you're like, why is Quinn always in the vinyl vault? It's because most of the time I either forget or today I'm
You're
texting
moving too
him.
Fast. You're moving too fast.
I'm moving too fast. Yeah. Anyway, it was, so next week, I promise I'm jumping into the vault.
Well, the thing,
but you always kick
about the vinyl
kick
vault,
booty.
We're in the right spot for the vinyl vault. If you gotta like come up with something quick, we're the right spot.
Dude, you're killing it.
And so let's talk about this. This is a huge record. This is arguably the best selling for a long time. It might still be the biggest selling 12-inch single of all time.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, obviously.
It sold 1 million globally.
Banger.
1 million globally in 1983. And this is not going to be the record you're expecting me to show you. This is New Order's. My sign is upside down. This is New Order's Blue Monday.
Right.
Everybody knows this record from, because it was packaged. Peter Saville, that did all the factory records packaging, he packaged it to where it looked like a floppy disk. Everybody remember this? It's it had a die cut sleeve. It was black with the little holes on the side, and the inner sleeve was silver, and it looked just like a floppy disk. Almost.
Go up and Google floppy disk, kids.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and they were so expensive to manufacture the sleeve, but it's something the band wanted to do that they didn't make any money on the record initially, but this was a huge hit. This really changed. This was this.
Oh my God! Come on, man.
New Order's fifth release, 12-inch single. This changed dance music forever.
Yep.
And this is the U.S. promo. This is how this record originally appeared in the United States, because Factory Records did not have an agreement in the U.S. when they put this out. There was a lot of imports, but you couldn't get it. You couldn't get it in the States. And if you'll even see, look at the little hype sticker. It says a Factory U.S. project, manufactured and distributed by Rough Trade. So this is really, from a bullet from a gun, this is where everything breaks out for New Order in the United States. And this thing becomes a huge club hit because they sent tons of these out to DJs and clubs. We can open this.
Okay, I'm trying to line the sign up.
Guys, how about this? Let's do that.
All right.
I love that sound. Right?
It's a great sound.
It's a great sound.
Fix it.
Yeah. Let's take it out.
All right, good.
So anyways, this is the first way you could get this in the United States. And it generally only went to radio programmers and DJs. I have only ever seen 2 of these, and they both came in the same collection.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't even know how many were produced, but it is a very, very cool record. One thing people might not know about Blue Monday, it samples the track Uranium by Kraftwerk. So it's really kind of a pay it forward moment in electronic music.
From early synthesizer pioneers.
So they're taking elements
I've
of the
asked you
track
this
and
before.
Does
Kraftwerk count as krautrock?
I think from the metronomic, I think it's more about the sound.
Because that's always a genre I'm confused about.
It is confusing. I think that the leading attributes of krautrock is that metronomic drum beat, that it just doesn't change. It's just like
just
on
very
the mark,
mechanical, yeah.
Moving
unrelenting.
Forward, and it's usually fast, and then a simple melody working around it. But so
all right, we got 60 seconds. What's coming up on the horizon in stores? Anything cool?
Gonna announce a few.
Tell us now.
Gonna announce a few this week, and a rescheduling of a few that didn't happen. Watch us on our socials, and you can come by here and have a complimentary St. Arnold beverage and see. You can be real musicians.
You can see the studio, and you can see where the drop is
now.
Is created for your listening pleasure. All right, man. Good stuff. Next week, I'm bringing the vinyl vault. I promise. It's going to be something mind blowing, but never as good as what Quinn gets. All right. I'm Ruben Dominguez. That's Quinn Bishop. This is the vault. This is the drop. We'll see you later. Peace. We're out. Jeez, man.